Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Friends, great news. It's Babylon 5 time. And this time we'll be watching Season 4, Episode 17, The Face of the Enemy. Nothing to it but to do it, friends. If you could do me a quick favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for Babylon 5 or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But my dear, dear friends, all that is then and this is now, and what is now? Now it's time to see the face of the enemy as we watch episode 17 of the 4th season of the beautiful Babylon 5. Prepare to engage maximum warp reaction. And away we go!
Commander's personal log.
Oh my, a lot of personal logs.
We have more Earth ships on our side than ever before, but the battles are becoming more desperate the closer we get to home.
Status.
The Hydra and the Delphi are out of commission and withdrawing. The rest are moving in for a counterstrike against us.
Damn it. They're outnumbered.
Oh, John's
Their jump
cut.
engines are down. They can't beat us, they can't escape. Why don't they surrender?
They're patriots, they think, anyway.
This is the hardest part of all, fighting our own.
Oh my god.
Our resources are stretched to the limit. Everything's riding on what happens in the next few weeks. This is end game. We'll be okay as long as nothing goes wrong.
Oh, we've never had anything go wrong before.
Captain Sheridan's father's in custody. He's being shipped to a temporary staging area on Mars so we can keep an eye on him. I'll contact Sheridan as soon as everything's in place.
Once he's out of the picture, President Clark will lower his guard. Then we can deal with him and the sidecar. In the final analysis, once he's better, Sheridan may even thank you.
Mm-hmm.
The truth, the whole absolute truth, is only a few days away. How many people can say that?
I don't know,
How many?
but I think the last guy got 30 pieces of silver for the same job.
You're playing into that Jesus stuff, Mike.
It was the year
We're being
fire.
told about the year of fire. You know, I think the toughest part about season 4 is not like blaming Mike because we know that he is being manipulated. It's tough though.
The year is 2261. The place?
Babylon 5. Chills each and every. I mean, you know, we know that Mike has been taken. He has had stuff done to him. I wonder though, and I've always sort of wondered, was he the great subject because he already had a lot of this stuff sort of underneath the surface? And it doesn't necessarily mean that he disliked John. He disliked like John coming back from Zahadum. Were those feelings of something's off with John like augmented by the conditioning that he had? I mean, we can't make the argument or the debate for it now until we find out a little bit more. But that's definitely an argument to have if it looks like that was the case. So, I mean, Mike's being manipulated. It's just, God, it's tough. You know, you want to just be like, yeah, F you, Garibaldi. You know, it's not his fault. But we assume. We assume this isn't like 90% Mike, 10% Psycor. These fights are amazing.
White Star 20 is hit.
How bad?
Bad.
They have to know they can't win. Why don't they surrender?
Would you, John?
They can't want to die. Not for Clark.
They think they're fighting for their planet.
We have no desire to destroy your ships, but if you continue to fight, we'll have no choice.
What difference does it make? We're dead anyway.
It's the Cadmus, Captain Leo Frank.
We're dead anyway?
We've been briefed on your campaign, Sheriff. As soon as our forces surrender, our crews are taken out, executed, and then replaced by Minbari crews. And I believe him.
And you're even dumber than you were at the academy.
Who is that? Mackie? Mackie, is that you?
Alive and well.
Oh, Walter's in this one.
I don't care what you've heard about Sheridan. You know me, Leo. Everything I tell you is on the up and up. Stand down, and you won't be harmed.
Wish we would have known this an hour ago.
They're standing down.
Sheridan to attack fleet. They've given the surrender order. Ceasefire. I repeat, ceasefire. Tell the others to...
Just a minute, there's a jump point opening.
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon through Sheridan?
Oh my God.
My old ship.
Yep.
We've been chasing you for days, but you're too fast. We couldn't catch you. We're looking to join up if you don't mind.
Mind? They're my crew. I trained them myself, including her captain. I trust them implicitly. You have the helm, Marcus.
That's definitely what they would have expected. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. John, that's not a great move. I don't like all these people defecting either. They could sneak a defected ship in there, like a false defector. That's what I would do.
Are you out of your mind? What the hell are you doing, bringing a teep down here when we are ready to move? Are you trying to compromise my security?
No, it's okay.
It's not okay.
Right, I put my life in her hands.
Fine. That's your choice. When it's my life, I'd like to have a thing or two to say about it.
Okay, okay. All right.
No, she needs to stay here with the rest of us. We may need her at a moment's notice. Our cargo.
What cargo?
That cargo.
Oh, we've got another telepath. This should make you super happy.
More telepaths.
Yep,
How many?
a lot.
A lot. Look at that. I'm very concerned about this.
How's the crew? Good, good. Lieutenant Chase is out on pregnancy leave. And the rest of the crew has been busy following your adventures, sir. Ever since you made it known that Clark was responsible for Santiago's assassination. And then came Night Watch and the illegal orders to take out civilian targets, so we knew who was telling the truth. The crew trusts you, Captain. So we voted to join up with you as soon as we could.
Well, I can't tell you what it means to have you aboard. Makes me think we might actually win this one.
Oh my God, please be correct. We need a telepath here to verify this stuff.
We're receiving a transmission from Mr. Garibaldi. He needs to speak with you. Says it's important.
Okay, look, we're not exactly on the best terms right now, but they've got your dad, John. They traced him through his medication, picked him up at a safe house 2 days ago just outside of Chicago. Now they're gonna use him to get to you. If you don't surrender, they're gonna kill him. Now look, we've got a couple of days before they can move on this, and we should be able to break him out. Now I've got some people who can help, but they want a meeting. They know your rep, but thanks to Clark's police state, they're afraid of being set up.
God, this is good.
Come on, John, if we're gonna do this, we gotta move fast. I need an answer. I need it now.
Captain, I don't think you should.
If it were your father, what would you do? I'll need to verify this through my people. But if it's true, you tell him I'll be there.
Oh, shit.
Captain, I strongly object.
Yeah,
Objection
we
is
all do.
noted.
I do too.
But he has never given me reason to think he meant me harm.
Well, maybe so, but what if his information is wrong?
It's not. Now, I will listen to what Garibaldi has to say, and if there's any way we can make this work, we'll find it. I want you to take my place during my absence. You take White Star 40 and get here as fast as you can.
Shouldn't Delenn?
She's not back yet. We need to keep this a clean fight.
Then who's...
Last time an assault fleet came to Earth, it was under Minbari command. We don't want the folks back home thinking the Minbari War is happening all over again.
So who's in charge of Babylon 5?
As soon as we make the jump from hyperspace, I'll take down one of your Thunderbolts.
Oh, this is so convenient. Come on, John. This doesn't smell right, bud. You know that. The Agamemnon shows up. I mean, come on now. I suspect that half of the defectors might... I hope not. Oh, boy. And there now, Babylon 5's not going to have anybody there.
She's talking about the new Bloodhound units. Telepaths assigned to the military divisions occupying Mars. Anyone suspected of being in the Resistance is scanned.
Without consent.
While I interned with the Psi Cops, there were a number of murders.
Yeah, we knew this.
They scanned anyone who might have had a lead. No warrant, no permission, and no trace.
Did you kill anybody?
And we couldn't go to the police because we didn't want to explain how we found him. Somewhere on Beta Colony, there is an institution. In one room of that institution, there is a man who spends his days and nights screaming at things only he can see.
Jesus.
When it was over, I transferred to commercial work. I wanted out.
Bester alluded to the idea that you had more involvement in it, Lita.
When we did what we had to do because no one else would.
which is what's going on right now.
Someday there's gonna be a war between telepaths and mundane, Stephen. I just hope I don't live to see it.
Jesus.
We're gonna build some bridges and find a more positive way of dealing with the core.
We just received a coded message from Babylon 5. It's about Sheridan. I hope he told you what to do with those frozen telepaths, because it looks like you're on your own for a while.
He's coming here, though. You two need to... Oh, Steven and Lita. They probably don't know about you being here. Like, Mike doesn't.
President Clark's people have found John's father. They're holding him captive. Mr. Garibaldi thinks he can help, so the captain's en route right now. He wants me to take over the fleet in his absence. I was hoping you can keep an eye on things around here until I get back.
Of course. He knows what he's doing. He'll be fine. Assuming Mr. Garibaldi can still be trusted.
It's a big assumption. May I recommend or suggest a hood, a hat, some glasses?
Hello, Michael. Captain.
Great shot.
I'm starting to think you weren't going to make it here. He's not being heavily guarded right now because Clark hasn't announced that he's been captured yet.
So we need to move before that happens.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do?
You've already done it.
What?
It's a drink. Don't fight it.
What are you doing?
Just give it up or they're gonna hurt you.
I'd love to see John fight through this shit. The music goes well with this. It really does. Oh, Mike, I want to blame this on the programming, but ooh, it's tough. It's real tough. It's real tough. Yeah, John, get in a couple. Oh, that's awesome. I love the strobe effect for that one shot. There it is again. Man, it's one thing, Mike, to bring him in. It's another thing to watch him get beat down. Oh, friends, this is tough. And this is literally JMS designing these scenes and everything, knowing what we know about Mike, but it's designing the scenes for us to despise him.
The leader of the renegade fleet that has been attempting to destabilize Earth for months has finally been located and detained, and is now being held in a secure facility. Unlike many of his victims, he is being given proper care and treatment.
Cut to the beatings. Yep. What are we going to do here, everybody? This is where he says, put a virus to kill all the teeps.
You said you'd tell me the rest of it when I proved my loyalty, when Sheridan was in custody. Well, I held up my end of the bargain. Now I want the truth.
I'm not saying it.
President Clark isn't the real problem. It's trivial. One way or another, he'll be gone in a few years.
Yeah, no shit.
The telepaths he put in power, the Psi Corps, those will be with us forever. That's the real danger.
We have a virus to kill all the telepaths. Here's how we're going to do it.
We have to deal with that, or face the very real possibility of our own extinction.
This is 100% Psi Corps with Mike.
The danger before us is nothing less than the death of human liberty and human thought.
There it is. Multiple copies. There's a red one, too.
Yeah, that's the package I helped Wade smuggle past customs on Babylon 5. He said it was a cure for telepaths against some kind of genetic mutation.
The Psycops were after this. They don't know what's going on, but they do know enough to be worried. If they knew for certain what was going on, I'd be dead in 5 minutes. This vial does contain a cure, Mr. Garibaldi. It took my people 3 years to develop it.
For this virus.
As long as it took us to develop the virus itself. It's airborne, 100% contagious, and utterly harmless to normals. Only telepaths are susceptible. Once infected, they have to receive injections of the antidote every 2 weeks. If they miss even one injection,
they die. And the net result is you create a slave race. You serve or die.
We have Homo superior versus Homo sapien. On a level playing field, Homo superior wins every time.
I turned this company into one of the biggest medical research facilities in existence.
Oh, well, who gives a shit?
Is any of this pose a problem for you, Mr. Garibaldi?
No.
I was going to say, it shouldn't, Mike. You've done everything else.
It's been a long day. But we've made a good beginning.
It's about to get longer still, Edgars.
The telepath problem will finally be over.
At least they will kill you. Something had to activate for Mike. Once you find out, then do the following. Oh boy. I thought you were supposed to stay on the compound, bud.
You gotta help me stop him. What he's doing, I understand why he's doing it, but it's wrong. Michael?
Mike's gone bye-bye.
You have to leave here.
Like,
Now,
but what am I gonna do?
go home.
Oh, yeah. I saw the guest list.
Hello, Mr. Garibaldi. I received your signal.
Mr. Bester.
Now, tell me what you know. All of it.
Oh, boy. All right, so Psychor is confirmed, I guess.
If they miss even one injection,
they die.
I knew there were forces out there with plans for my telepaths, but this... I had no idea.
Really?
I can feel you, you know? The real you, beating at the inside of your skull. For a long time, I've been debating what to do when this day came.
Well, this will be interesting.
I've decided to be magnanimous, Mr. Garibaldi. Not that you'll appreciate it, because you have prevented a new Holocaust. Go back, Mr. Garibaldi. Go back and remember.
Why don't you just kill me?
Doesn't work. Somebody just come around and replace you.
They knew there were 3 people who could replace him. Delenn, Ivanova, and you. Once Sheridan was dead, Ivanova and Delenn would be eliminated. They left the station intact. By this time, I knew they had infiltrated the core, so when they pulled in some of my people to help in your adjustment, I was able to intervene. Not so much on your behalf as my own.
Okay.
We both know that telepaths were a threat to the shadows.
That makes sense.
They played Clark's drive for power on one side, and Edgar's fear of telepaths on the other, leaving us in the middle, controlled or dead.
By both sides.
I arranged to have you rerouted to our research facility here on Mars.
Really?
We can't leave any fingerprints. He may have to pass a telepathic scan.
You don't want us to do a full reprogram on him?
By nature, Mr. Garibaldi is rebellious, stubborn, and suspicious. He has an innate distrust of authority figures.
So Lise didn't play into this at all?
We don't have to reprogram him. Just accentuate his natural instincts.
Give him a nudge.
It worked even better than I could have imagined.
I'm surprised that...
I've decided to resign as head of security, effective immediately.
From time to time, we updated your conditioning.
Mm-hmm.
Your final orders were to report back when you had all the information we needed. So, now the question becomes...
what to do with you.
You can't go home again. And your current employer is not going to be around much longer. Or...
look at that little flash. Oh, must be the lights.
I'm not capricious. Or cruel.
Okay.
I used you because I had no other choice.
That I believe.
My interest in you is over.
You're nothing.
I've just sent the all-clear signal telepathically. After I'm gone, you'll be able to move again. You'll remember it all. You'll be yourself again. You can try to tell the others what happened, but under the circumstances, I doubt very much anyone will believe you.
Be so great if he comes out of it like, I'm gonna kill you! Like, as soon as he gets control of his functions. This is a great storyline. I really wish we never would have known anything about the conditioning or seen like the messages come in. I wish that would have been the reveal. Like, you've been under our control the entire time. That would have been amazing.
And Garibaldi was behind the whole thing.
I just heard he's tried to contact Babylon 5.
You tell Corwin to refuse his signals. And you tell them that if he turns up on the station, I want that son of a bitch shot on sight.
Wow. Wow.
If Clark thinks this is going to slow us down, he's in for a very big surprise. The captain once told me, the person is expendable, the job is not.
Leaf! Leaf!
Yeah, Wade's gone. Is he dead too? They're not gonna leave him alive.
Wait, what happened?
Five of them hit us out of nowhere. I don't know. She wasn't here. She was gone when they got here. She...
Okay, he is hurt. Oh, I thought maybe they just did something to him, like telepathically.
This is Allison Higgins with an update on our earlier stories. President Clark declared today a day of celebration and rest.
I'm sure.
Signals that the war of aggression against Earth is unraveling. Sheridan continues to be well fed.
Did you hear that, Susan?
He has reportedly indicated feelings of remorse and regret for his actions against his own home world. We hope to have more on this soon. Was found dead this morning along with at least one of his staff. Preliminary reports from investigators on the scene indicate that the resistance may have been responsible.
I'm sure, yeah.
Chief Warrant Officer Michael Garibaldi. If this is true, we at ISN want to convey our personal thanks and gratitude to a true hero of the people.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Mike, you're going to have a lovely time across the board. All right, everybody, we just finished watching Babylon 5, Season 4, Episode 17, The Face of the Enemy, and the only thing left to do is talk about it. All right, everyone, we finished The Face of the Enemy, the 17th episode of the 4th season of the one and only Babylon 5. I'm actually really surprised that the connection with Lise was never something that they explored with Psycor. If they were going after Edgar's the entire time, I don't know. I mean, I guess they just got lucky. That seems to me something that should have been at least sussed out. Like, what are all the things we could use Michael for? Give me a full backdrop. Is there something else other than just kind of like putting him on station that we could use? Anybody else? And I mean, Lise would have popped up at some point, you know, just because of the 3 years they spent together. You would think, anyway, you would think, but it doesn't seem like that was part of the plan or even a consideration until it just sort of happened into their lap, because they weren't sure that he was going to, I mean, they had no idea he was going to resign. And then that put you in a perfect position for, you know, William Edgar's. Okay, they needed like a clarification there. Like that, I mean, he's on Mars. Why would all of a sudden he go to Michael without the Lise connection, I guess? I mean, I don't know, but they could have made that more clear. I think that Bester would have known about that. I don't know. And I mean, we're in a bit of a pickle here, obviously, with John captured. Michael is going to be despised from anybody that could ever potentially associate with him. Susan making the proclamation that she had told everybody on Babylon 5, if he shows up, kill him. Put a bullet in him. Wow. I mean, okay. So again, you would think that if anything, there would be like, as soon as you see him, you know, on site, he gets locked up. You take him into custody. If he happens to get killed whenever you're arresting him, I mean, that's okay too, I guess. But, you know, the number one goal should be to capture him, find out what he knows. Where do they have John? Anything that he would know, you kind of, but I mean, Susan doesn't seem to give a shit about that. She just kill him, which I think informs us more on Susan's attitudes towards John than necessarily her hatred for Michael right now. Because we saw that, you know, whenever John came back from Zahadum, I mean, Susan, arguably next to Delenn, was the most reactive, the most emotive whenever he showed up. I mean, she hugged him. She considers John sort of a mentor, friend, father figure. I mean, all of those things rolled into one. And I mean, you can say too that you shouldn't kind of deify anybody like has been kind of thrown around with him, but she definitely sees him as somebody to emulate. And that's before Zahadum. You know, he's an incredible commander. He's somebody that she has absolutely kind of modeled herself after. but certainly not to the detriment where Susan is giving up her own identity to sort of, completely replicate everything John does. He's just a great example, and she enjoys him, and she, sees his strengths, and really in many ways Susan doesn't see his weaknesses either. And I love that. That's somebody who idolizes somebody for the positive reasons and is not necessarily going to damn them for the negative ones. And the idea that Susan feels it's now her obligation to sort of take the mantle, sit in the chair, and continue the fight and the charge towards Earth, completely realistic. Of course she was going to do that. Of course she would say, what would John do? John would know. John says, it's not the position, or not the person, it's the position. It's the, keep going, the show must go on type of shit. And Susan is absolutely going to do that because that's the only thing that she could think to do right now. Susan's a great commander too, and she should be able to take over. Would I want it to be in Delenn's hands more than Susan is a question that I asked whenever Susan took over. And no, for the exact same reason that John didn't want Delenn taking over the fleet. This has to be human. You have to have a human in charge. Otherwise, all the narrative that Clark and propaganda place ISN has said, it seems way more believable if you have a Minbari that's marching on Earth. That looks like he's favoring the aliens over humanity. If it's all humans, all people that have signed up, Mackie and everybody, then you're definitely looking more and more like your story is the more valid of the two, that your narrative lends itself to believability, whereas Clark's lends itself to kind of fall apart as soon as the House of Cards gets, buffeted a little bit. But this is a tough one now because as soon as the results of this episode sort of foretold, we knew something like this was going to happen. As soon as John was abducted, as soon as Mike has to be revealed at some point, Bester, of course, being behind, it's not a big surprise that as soon as it was Psy-Corps, it's going to be Bester, right? The thing now, though, is what does Psy-Corps do with both the virus and the cure? Because just as Edgar's was going to basically say, hey, all you telepaths, if you want to keep living, you do what we say and we'll give you the stuff. If not, we take it away. Who's to say that Psy-Corps can't do that on a planetary basis? Now, again, the only thing that they would have to do is they would then, I'm assuming, have to inoculate themselves, because as soon as you kind of put the plague out there, it's going to be able to, unless they can come up with like an inoculation for it where, they could not get infected, which is, I'm sure, probably their end result. Let's study this stuff for as long as we can. As soon as we have a ironclad inoculation against this stuff, then we just release it. All the other telepaths in the entire galaxy would die, in the section of space that we're in, could die, leaving Psy-Corps to literally be gods among men. And I'm sure, knowing how Bester sort of approaches everything, that would be a nice little end result for him. I think I'm going to end with this one. It's one of my favorite ones, too. Villains, the best villains, don't think they're villains. And I love that with Bester. I don't think Bester thinks he's a villain. Why would he? He certainly doesn't believe that what he's doing is wrong. He is trying to save his people. And his people, that no longer encompasses or includes humanity, the mundanes. No. These are just telepaths. Those are his people, whether it be his lover that's on ice with Doc Franklin, or his beloved, Black Omega Squadron, or anything he talks about. He's taking care of his folks, and he knows that this is the only way to do it. And the only way to make sure that we don't have this, Clark can't be trusted. Clark is weak. He's amateurish. Everybody, even on both sides of this entire thing, they know what Clark really is. But see, that's a great thing about that, is because let's really look at what Bester's doing. Bester's trying to take care of his people. Put that under the microscope. Let's turn over here to another microscope. John, I'm going to do whatever it takes to protect my people. Is John a villain? Sure, you can absolutely paint the picture that John's a villain. You could say that he's doing things that, are definitely go against this or go against that, or make him suspect on this. Absolutely, everybody's motivations can be questioned when you're not part of the group that's being helped. And that's what I think you have with Bester. If we were telepaths, or if Lita or Talia or one of our more prominent telepaths were, again, Ironheart, one of our prominent telepaths was threatened by this virus and they were going to die. And Bester had the ability to save them. Oh my God, he'd be a hero in our eyes, right? Well, he's just doing that, just preemptively. He's making the save before it's required. And again, you cannot fault him for doing anything possible and whatever is necessary to keep his people safe. Now, again, it's in direct conflict with our people. Sort of, John was captured, sort of. That's the way it all broke down. But the end result isn't, we don't really care about John Sheridan getting hurt. We don't want him dead either, not necessarily. We don't care about Michael Garibaldi. I mean, if he dies, so what? What we care about is keeping as these millions of telepaths that Walter talked about, keeping them all safe. And so, you got to break a couple eggs to save, the needs of the many, right? And so you cannot fault Bester for doing this. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's a selfless act because he's a telepath as well. But I mean, this is putting himself at risk. You would think that if Clark or anybody that might be on an opposite side of the political spectrum inside of Psi Corps heard about this, they might not be super duper happy about it. But again, he could position this as an argument. We have to maintain our power base. The assets that are involved with Psi Corps are your best assets. I think what I'm doing is right. I think more people on his side would say, you're absolutely right. More people on the other side would say, oh my God, you're a villain. Am I? And friends, that's the beauty of Babylon 5. JMS knows that. JMS absolutely wrote Bester as a hero with his own set of results and ideals. What's the difference between a hero and a villain? Oh, just the presentation, my friends. If you could do me a favor, hit that like button, smash that subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. It greatly helps out a small channel and allows me to alert you next time it's time for Babylon 5 or any of our sci-fi fare. And of course, if there's anything that we do that you would like early or in its full-length format, the link to our Patreon is in the description. And if you're not a fan of Patreon, consider YouTube memberships. You'll get all of our episodes at least a day early. But all that is then and this is now, my friends, and now, unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye from Babylon 5. But as the Greek chorus, somebody that helps to continue to spread and grow the audience of Babylon 5, our reward is to jump back into the episode to a favored scene. So what I thought we would do is this. Mr. Garibaldi has been getting it from both barrels this season, and I have been shooting quite a bit as well on Michael as far as, questioning what he's been doing, how much of this is really Michael. That's aside for now. In the discussion and the definition between heroes and villains, Michael Garibaldi is removed from that ability to define because he has been acting outside of his own influence and watching the influence of a man named Bester. And so, friends, it is at this moment when Michael Garibaldi has nowhere to turn to, no one to believe him, his former friends going to shoot him on sight, and one of his friends now incarcerated and being beaten as a war criminal in some unknown location. It's our time, my friends. We don't care about heroes and villains in this moment. We care about objectives. We care about making things right. Now, our definition of right may place us on the villain or the hero side, but right now, we stand with Michael Garibaldi and let the chips fall where they may. Until such time as we can continue this fantastic show, my friends, farewell, old friends, and I'll see you.